welcome to my podcast. With me today is Gabe, Rubbish Raccoon. You can find him on all of the socials.
You can find Rubbish Raccoon 1 on Twitter, but Rubbish Raccoon on YouTube and um, Twitch. That's the thing I do.
And what about Instagram?
That one I think is also Rubbish Raccoon 1. Twitter and Instagram I think are Rubbish Raccoon 1 because some bitches stole my shit. Well, okay, not really, but they someone beat me to it. Hold on, I have Instagram on my phone. Let me look at my use.
Oh my god! Okay, this is insane.
Yes, Rubbish Raccoon 1. That's it.
I'm trying to make more content. As such, we're here today on a Thursday, hopefully, producing content. This is a podcast, so I can post it elsewhere. We are going to be discussing cartoons because they can go viral on lots of algorithms, and who doesn't like more viewers? So, what weird theory have you brought to the table today, Gabe?
Alright, so this is a theory I made a while ago about my favorite anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I don't know if someone made it before me. Someone probably has. But this theory was made just out of thought. But Jodo is a horrible parent due to PTSD. Is a theory I thought of in my head before Part 4's anime came out.
Before Part 4 came out? The anime? Okay, yes.
Part 4's anime, yes.
Of course.
Because after Part 4 the anime came out, people started, there was this big joke about, Jodo, not joke, but a theory of it, where it's like, it's Takira Yoshikage, a blonde man, counting time, saying Muda, it's like, and then Jodo losing his shit. Well, here's the thing. My theory is like, very, very similar, and I'm sorry that I have very bad talk. The theory goes.
This is why we have editing.
That Jodo.
Did you hear what minute speech I had at the start? Christ.
Yes, I did. The theory goes, Jodo, he's a bad parent due to PTSD. In Part 5, it is said that Jodo is going around looking for stand users using his job as a cover and still doing his marine biologist bullshit.
Yeah.
It's set in the manga as well. And obviously after watching the anime, I went straight to the fucking manga, read it through.
I was like, quite an easy thing to do, because stand users are attracted to each other, and he could probably just stand in the same place and keep getting attacked. I buy it.
Alright. He has PTSD from obviously Part 3. He was 17 years old. He's taken from... He leaves his home to protect his mom. He goes with his grandfather to destroy their lifelong enemy. And during that time, he made, obviously, a journey that takes about 50 days hanging with the same people. You obviously get attached to them. And, half of them fucking die brutally.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
Iggy and Avdol just fucking Vanilla Ice just came at them and killed them.
I mean...
And they didn't have...
I'm not sure how attached he was to Iggy.
I mean, yeah, but Avdol.
Avdol, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Avdol dead, Iggy dead, and then Kakyoin, who people assume is his closest friend, which is kind of weird.
I thought you were going to say Lava for a second.
Well, I mean, I don't really ship the two. They have interactions to show they're really good. They're good friends, but I don't really understand the ship that because they're both high schoolers and on this journey together, they've probably fucked. I mean, you can say that if you want. I don't.
You're entitled to your own opinions.
Yeah, and all these three people, Kakyoin, Avdol, and Iggy, all die at the same time, the same day, pretty much. And that very same day, he thinks his grandfather fucking dies, all because of this fucking great man named Dio. And okay, look, he's sexy. Leave me alone.
No, I appreciate it. I feel like I have some, interesting, Gabriel. Have you considered Jodo was a bit of a dickhead before the adventure happened.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
But
Like, he is not nice to his mum, and like some of the other women and girls that are like attracted to him. Could it be he's just a dickhead?
no, that's fair. He is just a dickhead. Also, my theory, also the proof I'm gonna provide, also is spoilers. I believe for part 6. Well, it's definitely spoilers.
Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, I should have said that first. Speaking of that, part 6 anime coming out soon, and I will freely say, check it out.
Oh shit, we should do like a watch along thingy.
Yeah, exactly. But no. Back to the point. All his friends died around the same time. His grandfather, and it was obvious he loved them.
Mm-hmm.
He cared about them, and I'll agree, maybe not as much as Iggy, but when you go into a warlike situation, your allies, you grow a deep and fond bond with them. They were being attacked almost on a daily. So obviously, even though Iggy maybe not the closest, Iggy still in the end was like, I found Dio's mansion. Dio's a cunt. Let's go beat this bitch's ass.
That is a fair description of that dog.
Jodo definitely appreciated that. They all did. They all were getting sick and tired of Dio's bullshit. And at the same time, they all died. Jodo didn't get the chance to grieve at that moment. He had to keep a straight fucking forward thought, and you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
He had to keep a leveled head.
Now, JoJo's or Joestars have a lot of genetic traits that they will share, right?
Yes.
Now, pretty often, Joestars are bad dads.
Okay.
Not necessarily their own fault. Maybe it's fate. Are the Joestars just cursed to be bad dads?
Yes. I'd like to think yes,
Even
because every protagonist has a horrible father except for Jonathan.
What do you mean?
George was in Jonathan's life, and the worst George did was kind of be a little strict to Jonathan about learning manners.
What are you on about? The whole thing with him making Dio basically his favourite son over him.
It wasn't about Dio being the favorite son. It was about Dio showing gentlemanlike manners where Jonathan didn't. And plus,
George
that was the
not
old
a top tier dad.
He was okay. He's not a top tier dad, but he obviously loved his children.
True.
That you cannot deny. Also, Joseph wasn't a bad dad.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so Joseph Joestar was not a bad father. He was a bad husband. There's a difference.
So we don't really know a lot about his relationship with Holly. Except he spent a lot of time traveling the world, but we don't really know where.
But the way they talk is their relationship is pretty good. They're a little bit too close, and there's little to no boundary there, and that's kind of weird, if I'm gonna be honest.
She moved.
Let me comb your hair, daughter.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Okay, I feel like that backs up my point. But also...
No. Here, let me explain. I don't think the combing her hair as an adult and her being sick is weird. It was when she's like, "Can you change my panties?" to her dad.
Yeah, but also...
I think that part is fucking weird.
I don't know if that's some culture shock. JoJo's has some weird stuff. Yeah, I feel like backs me up. She also moved to the other side of the world.
Yeah, but that's because she fell in love,
Yeah, and then Josuke.
Okay, he was a bad dad to Josuke. Fuck off. Okay, the fact that he's a bad dad to Josuke, I will give you that. But I do not think he was a bad dad to Holly. Here's the thing about Joseph. If he knew he had a spawn in Japan, besides Holly, I think he would have been there.
Also think...
it's...
I don't know, is Holly a bit weak-willed with Jotaro?
She doesn't have.
Is that just because she's nice?
She's definitely. I think she's just too nice.
But yeah, Jotaro's got a bad dad. He's not even a Joestar. Maybe they're just cursed. You will have bad parenting if you are a JoJo's protagonist.
That's mostly true. Well, yeah. I mean, Part 7's Johnny. That's horrible. What happened to him?
Fate's a real thing in the JoJo's adventure. Why not curse it?
Yeah, it is. Curses are also a very real thing. That's why fucking Holly was about to die, and so was Josuke.
Yeah.
Dio getting the stand, forcing the other Joestars to get a stand, caused the fucking, as they call it, Dio's curse. And Dio's curse was like big dick energy to anyone who doesn't have a fighting spirit. And I like how Josuke is like, as a little boy, doesn't have a fighting spirit, but definitely when he grew up after that incident, bam, big fighting spirit. But also, Part 4 wasn't really about Josuke that much, so...
Okay, that seems like an even crazier theory that we'll save for a different time, that it's not about Josuke.
Yeah.
Also,
okay, but back to Jodo's
big fighting spirit, he has fucking love hearts.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Dio's curse. It was about... It's afflicting those of the Joestar blood that don't have a strong fighting spirit. And it's stated that Josuke, at the time, when he got really ill, was the same time Holly got really ill. So, literally, the Stardust Crusaders were fighting for Holly and Josuke. So that implies Kid Josuke didn't have a strong fighting spirit until he was saved by the man who is theorized to be him from the future. It's also not helped that in the anime, they made the guy wear exactly what Josuke wears.
Which is a somewhat common outfit in Japan. And also, isn't that one proven not true? I don't know. Probably.
That it's...
But I like
it's
it.
confusing.
We can just save all the JoJo's theories.
Yeah. Okay, but back to the one. So...
Does he? I think you might have sold me.
That Jodo's PTSD
Potentially.
is...
Yeah, what do you have on the part 6
Okay, let me... Okay, so in Part 6, Jodo... Obviously, I was going to say, Jodo cares about his daughter so much. But he was always neglecting her throughout her life. And she has big daddy issues where she's like, please notice me, father. And Jodo, deep down, didn't realize he was, hurting her that bad. He just, to him, was like, I'm going to find all the stand users who are hired by Dio in some way or another and stop them. That's kind of his big shtick. Like, fuck Dio, fuck this curse, I gotta stop this shit, I gotta stop everyone who worship Dio, who were given stands because of Dio, and who work for Dio. That's kind of why he's like, oh, Koichi, you gotta go check out Giorno for me. It would be weird if a fully grown adult man comes up to this 15-year-old fucking kid who could be Dio's son.
I can't.
So,
So
send the, I think, 17-year-old at the time, I think Koichi was 17 in Part 5, to go do it. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But continuing on with this theory...
And
Jotaro at the end, before he
also
got his...
travel the world.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That little fucking shrimp. He's like 5'4".
Him and Pink Floyd traveled everywhere. Because I imagine his stand just kept evolving into new Pink Floyd stands.
Echoes, Act 5. Yeah, right? But, before Jotaro was mind-wiped in Part 6... he tells Jolene he loves her. He says it, and then when later on in the Part 6, he also is like, no, dude, I fucking love you, girl. You my daughter, and I love you. And even when fucking Anasui was like, let me marry her, I am a simp. It's just, he loves Jolene.
Yeah,
and to further prove this point, I don't know if you ever played the game Eyes of Heaven. It has its own original story.
But also, sacrifices himself for her. Big spoilers here. Like,
Yes.
fully...
Yeah, right at the
Jesus
end.
Christ.
I didn't want to say that, but right at the fucking end, when he could have killed Poochie in one hit and saved the entire universe, he chooses to save Jolene. He chose his daughter over the entire world because he fucking deeply loves his child. He's a bad dad throughout all of her life, but here's
also,
something I want to say.
I'll say more spoilers.
Yeah.
Fucking right decision. It ended up pretty good for him.
I mean, it kills him in most of the universe because the universe has to reset anyway. I mean, morally, out of like save one or save many, it's wrong.
Yeah, but this
but
isn't
also,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No, this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This isn't Star Trek. He fucking gets a new universe where his daughter's not in prison and they've got a good relationship.
Yeah.
Big win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all their friends are not in prison, but they're friends, and they meet up, and Polio's like crying at the end.
Heaven.
Yeah, that's the thing. In Eyes of Heaven, I don't know if you ever played it, but basically all the JoJos get together with their pals and team up against a new threat. Spoiler alert, it's fucking Dio in a different timeline after beating Jotaro. And has heaven powers.
I'm somehow
in that
not
timeline.
shocked.
Yeah, I know, right? He incorporates. It's because of fucking President Valentine. He's like going through different fucking timelines. Like someone stopped the fucking spin, and then Dio with heaven power stops the spin. Is like, how the fuck did you get here? And then Valentine's like, I can go through dimensions. You want me to take you to the main dimension? And then Dio's like, hell yeah, let's go there. And then President Valentine at some point tells Dio about the Jesus Christ corpse, and Dio's like, that's what I want.
Okay.
Anyway,
just complete mind blown.
Yeah, that's pretty much the plot. Why Dio is now the enemy, and all the JoJos like meet up.
Okay, yes,
at their
that's
prime,
what we
you
were.
know?
They were meeting up.
Yeah, so Jolene, seeing her younger dad, is like, you're my father. You wouldn't believe that. And Jodo's like, I have a fucking kid down the road? And Jolene's like, yeah. But also, like, there's dialogue that implies, you know, Jolene's like, I'm mad at you and you're not really that great of a dad. And the last fight with Dio, because the whole game is about, you know, 2v2s, is Jodo and Jolene teaming up. And Jodo watches Jolene die from Dio. And Jodo just loses his shit.
Fuck.
And he beats Dio in the end, right?
Okay.
So, because his stand, like, I have a whole problem with it, but I'm not going to get into it here. His stand goes over heaven as well. Star Platinum over heaven. And,
so,
like,
wait,
after beating Dio...
His actual stand power is just copy whatever Dio's stand is.
Yes! That is Jodo's exact stand power! And I fucking hate it!
Okay.
It's copy whatever Dio he's facing stand is. There's... I can't get into it now, Ollie.
Fair.
This will make it too long. But after he gains the corpse of Jesus Christ, gets the heaven stand, he rewrites all of history, so in the final moments of battle, everyone's pals are still alive.
Oh.
William, Zeppeli, Caesar, and it's so cute, because then as these pictures of the final battles are there with everyone's friends, it's saying this really lovely fucking saying. I can't remember it exactly right now, but pretty much after that in the credits, there's a scene in the game that shows Koichi bumping into Part 4 Jotaro, right? But this time, Jotaro has Jolene with him, trying to make things right, you know? Because this Jotaro knows what he's done to Jolene. And seeing the pain he caused his daughter through, you know, PTSD of not being there and choosing to be like, it's better to save the world than love my kid and be there for my kid, he kind of decides to kind of do both.
Yeah, but also
now,
I guess his life is quite dangerous because stand users are attracted to each other and he knows she's not a stand user naturally.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit of me is that, yeah, as you said, the PTSD, but when you said he's trying to protect her, I'm like, oh yeah, that's more it. He knows that some serial killer with a cat stand is going to come after him at some point. He just wanted
Some David Bowie looking bitch.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I could see him, that PTSD to protect his daughter. He doesn't want her involved in this world until it comes for her and she's arrested.
Yeah. Yeah. But now he's like, look, I know I'm strong enough to protect her. I mean, time stop's pretty fucking overpowered.
I've also literally got the powers of heaven, did you say?
Yeah, he has the power. Okay, he has the power to rewrite reality as he sees fit. Okay.
Good, and I'm glad he chose Jolene in the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
I don't know how far down the rabbit hole of Jotaro's super stand that I can go right now, but I will
No, don't worry about it. We can talk about it later. So yeah, that's my theory. Jotaro was a bad father due to PTSD.
And a desire to protect his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense, like, why he wouldn't have arrowed her earlier on in her life. Because, well, maybe she would have died.
Yeah, that's also a thing, you know? If you fail the arrow, you die, unless you have Josuke near you and you heal.
I don't know, or else you're like a JoJo.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, except they feel like they get to cheat because they're the best around.
Yeah. And, you know, Jono was born with a stand, too, so he didn't even have to touch the arrow.
So, do you think Gabe's right? Wait, shall I ask that question at the end?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Do you believe in this theory? Do you think this theory has enough sound proof in it, or do you think I'm just bullshitting my way to victory?
So,
give your comments down below.
I mean, I think you swayed me. I'm gonna go a little bit more insane. I think SpongeBob is dead.
You think SpongeBob's fucking dead?
I think SpongeBob's dead.
Give me the soup.
SpongeBob is dead, and this is hell. Bikini Bottom is hell. Or purgatory. Because SpongeBob, he seems like a pretty alright dude. He's happy, he's optimistic, he's good. But all the characters
He stole panties one time.
That's true. He did steal panties. But is that because he's being taunted by the 7 deadly sins? I think all of the major recurring characters in SpongeBob's life may in fact be the sins, demony sins.
Yeah.
Right? Easy ones to start off with. Greed.
Krabs.
Exactly.
Right, Mr. Krabs?
Literally the greediest character I've ever seen in anything. I think he's greedy in the Scrooge McDuck. He literally loses his entire body for $1.
Oh shit. Yeah, I know, his first $1, right?
Exactly.
It's been so long since I've seen SpongeBob, but I know exactly what you're fucking talking about.
And following up Mr. Krabs, envy.
I think that can't be Squidward, is it?
No, though it could be, but I had in somewhere else on the list. Plankton.
Yeah.
Always envious of Mr. Krabs.
Oh shit.
And the secret formula.
Yeah, you're right.
But, as I'm sure the theory is now starting to lose you, we actually see SpongeBob die.
We see him die?
Yeah. Gabe, if you do remember the first SpongeBob movie...
Yes, I saw that in theaters. I kind of remember it. I remember David Hasselhoff uses, like, big man tits to shoot SpongeBob and Patrick.
Before David Hasselhoff gets involved, SpongeBob and Patrick are captured by a scuba diver and left out to dry. We see both of them dry out.
Oh, yeah.
He dies. So everything from that point onwards in the show is actually completely his hellscape.
Is that why the show went downhill after the movie?
Exactly.
It's trying to bring hell to the audience.
We have Squidward, who becomes angrier and angrier. He's my wrath.
Is Patrick... that makes Patrick Sloth.
Patrick is Sloth. See? It does track reasonably well. Lounging around in his pants all day. No job. Definitely the incarnate of slobbery and sloth. Right, that bit's getting cut short. Don't know what I was saying.
Yeah. He's... hello. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick.
For gluttony, I had Mrs. Puffs. I know she's a pufferfish and therefore not really fat, but we do see her eating a lot, maybe.
Does she stuff her face a lot?
Well, that, and I also saw someone on the internet, people suggesting Gary for gluttony, because he's always shown eating. But
yeah, no, I mean,
do we think,
unless you're gonna put Gary somewhere else, I think Gary is more glutton because he.
But don't worry, that isn't my most tenuous link.
Okay. I think Mrs. Puffs is
I think Gary. I can get behind Gary.
Yeah, we see. I remember multiple episodes where Gary just gets his big ass mouth and eats something.
Sandy was my pride, trying to wrestle that Alaskan bullworm.
Not just that, she's a sore fucking loser half the time, right?
Yeah.
She's not just that. She I don't know. She's really competitive.
That's true.
And she's from Texas, so of course she's pride.
I didn't realize that was such a thing, but I do believe it doesn't surprise me.
Did you forget she was Texas?
No, Texan? I forgot. I didn't realize Texas pride. Is that like a thing in America? They're prideful?
I mean, okay, most Texans are idiotic and prideful if you just go by how the state is.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's a large sort of white supremacist there, and I'd like to assume they're prideful in their ways.
Is this the point where you're going to get done for slander and or crimed for calling out white nationalists?
If I ever get famous and they watch this, probably. And if they do that, well, prove me wrong that you're not a white nationalist. How about you stop doing racist ass shit, you fuckers?
And from that tangent, I would like to suggest Pearl is lust.
Pearl?
Yeah.
Pearl is a Crab's daughter.
Yeah,
right?
the whale. But that one's my most tenuous link. Yeah, I'm like, oh, she's not really. But it doesn't matter.
I mean, she's a daddy's girl. She likes to go out and party. I'm down for that. I'm not down to fuck it. I'm just saying I'm down with the theory that she's lust.
See, I saw a lot of some versions that have SpongeBob as lust because he loves everybody.
Yeah.
But also I think that's like SpongeBob isn't sexual love. He's a happy, friendly guy, right?
No. SpongeBob is the kid on the little yellow bus that wants to befriend everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the most polite way I'm going to say it, and if I say it any other way, it's going to be super rude. So I'm going to leave it at that.
I mean, I kind of want to hear the super rude version, but is it too...
Oh, do you? I will say it. It is definitely too rude for recent TV. This is like HBO rude, alright? It's premium cable rude.
Okay. Go for it, Gabe. If it's premium cable...
Alright, SpongeBob is the little retarded kid that wants to pet every animal and hold everyone's hand and wants to befriend everyone no matter what's happening. Like, he's the little retarded kid that's like, he sees someone get shot and just goes, you know, you want to be friends? And he...
Okay.
You said I can.
No, no, that was a very apt description to the point where I would say there is a PC way or a more sophisticated way of describing that character, Gabe, and it's a Lenny.
Lenny?
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Of Mice and Men, one of the greatest pieces of American literature ever written.
Okay, see...
John Steinbeck.
I've never read it, and I'm sorry.
Well, he wants to pet all the animals, but he does it too strong, and he's a bit slow.
Yeah. See, my way of kid on the little yellow bus who wants to befriend everyone is also PC, you know?
Yeah.
It's more PC than calling SpongeBob straight up retarded.
Well, I think that's the only word you're not allowed to say, right? You're not allowed to say retarded anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I could have used moron, but like... I mean,
well, I know
gotta
what you
change
meant.
my ways a bit.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I feel like we can get away with that.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sorry that some of my dialect is... Yeah, it is.
It has meaning. Word meaning, sophistication.
I mean, they used to call them mentally handy. I'm gonna shut up now.
I've been binge watching South Park recently. That was one of my other ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, no. I love South Park.
South Park series.
Let me do that with you. I love South Park. I watched that, growing up, which is bad, and probably why my vocabulary is pretty fucked up. Yeah.
But yeah, no, rewatching it at the moment, I'm like, ooh, that could be a thing.
There was definitely episodes that don't hold up very well, and still don't. And there's Cassie pointed out some transphobic episodes to me.
But it's South Park. They were on purpose transphobic, and they were on purpose racist and homophobic at points because they're children, and also all the adults are literally the worst versions of Americans.
Yeah. It's
right. They have Randy straight up say the N-word in an episode.
Yeah, I remember that. It was they were fucking playing not Wheel of Fortune, but
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it is Wheel of Fortune.
I know that from
yeah.
pop culture parodies of Wheel of Fortune.
And it's like people who annoy you, and it's just like, oh
God.
No. And the whole episode, though, was a positive enforcement about racism and what's okay and what's not okay, though.
Yeah, but...
I mean, they had to go a racist route, but they've never done a positive enforcement of trans people, though. And that's... Because there was an episode... I was having Cassie watch it with me, and there was an episode where Gerald, Kyle's dad, turns into a dolphin, and then Kyle turns himself into a black person through surgery.
Yeah.
Because he wants to play basketball. And Cassie, just after that, was disgusted and was like, I'm not watching this show ever again. And I'm like, what? Because she was kind of enjoying it here and there. And I'm like, what? She's like, this is horribly, transphobic. And as a kid and watching it at that point too, I didn't see it as transphobic. I was like,
I mean, I'll say
he's turning himself into a dolphin.
I mean, they're still transphobic now, right? It was only recently they had the athlete thing. But we are going to save that topic for another time, Gabriel. I think...
Oh, yeah, that's definitely...
This was very good. Got it. Maybe. I would make this some sort of competition where we vote on whose is better, but I genuinely think yours is significantly better. Send me
I brought so much proof to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you really did.
Oh, wait, are you ending this now?
Yes.
Hold on, wait. I need to ask you something before we end this fully.
Okay.
Are we goofy goobers?
Yeah, we're goofy goobers.
Yeah! I was holding that this whole time, and I wanted to wait till the very end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In my head, that should go at the front.
I mean, oh shit, you're right.
That should be our opener before everything else starts, before the intro. Because that way, people will know to either start or stop it. Also, my camera...
They know what kind of people we are.
Run out halfway through this, so we'll see what we get.
Oh, yeah. I'm at 40 minutes.
Yeah, right I know, right? All right. Well, that was pretty fun. We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit stop now.